Nice little largemouth. It's cold too. Hold of him here. Check it out. Thank you, little buddy. Go back and get a little bigger. Send your grandma this way. I think that's telling me that they've moved further back up in here into the back of this creek. Because we didn't catch anything at the mouth. And heck, I even caught a drum halfway through. Caught two little largemouth. He was on a current break too. Might be telling me that they've moved on back in here. There's one big lesson I can give you guys, and I can't stress it enough, is retying. I've lost so many fish over the course of my career so far that I just retie every time I get one little nick in there. It's just got to do it. You got to spend a minute and do it, or else you're going to be mad at yourself because you lost a 5-pound fish. So I'd rather spend an extra minute and tie extra knot than miss a good one. So. There's one. Nope. It's a good stick fish. Had a little fish take my trailer, so had to get a new one. Let's get back after them. That's the name of the game when you're out here trying to find fish, is like when you're back in the back of these creeks, or any time of year really, is how efficient you are with your time. Like I think it makes me a better angler just because I have everything organized. It takes less time to find things. You know, I've got really good at tying my knots. It doesn't take me very long. I've got good equipment. And that means a lot. Saving time on the water, that means a lot. You see that little rock pile up there on the banks, what's left of a catfish hut. Now what's a catfish hut? If you ever heard of noodling or rock fishing, what they do is they stick their arm up, guys go up in there, stick their arm up in there for a catfish. You know, the catfish clamps down on their hand and they pull them out. Well, guys come over here in the winter time and they build little catfish huts like that. Now that's kind of an old one, but they come over here in the wintertime when the water's down and build them. That way when the water gets up, the catfish will move into the huts. So they know where to go, you know, noodling at. So that's just one little interesting thing. See the stumps even come all the way over to here. I can see them clearly on the graph down there. You can see the stumps. They're sitting down there in about 10 foot of water. You can see the trees and stuff that's fell in. All this right here, all those rocks come from that bluff wall. Over the years, they've just kind of came down. And it makes really good habitat for the fish too. Especially on these sunny days in the springtime, they'll get on these rock walls and position to where it's warm. Because like I always tell a lot of people, is that bass are about like people. They want to be somewhere where it's warm and they're close to food. Like I was talking about earlier, the fish really get up in these current breaks a lot. When I was on that wall over there, those big chunk rocks are acting as a current break. But right now we actually have a little island, and you can see the backside of it, and it'll actually act as a current break. Sometimes they'll get on the backside of those too and just kind of get it out of the way of the current. Like I said, largemouth are fat and lazy and they don't want to move a whole lot. So if they can get out of the current, they're going to get out of the current. Uh-oh, come on. Did you hit it? Thought there was a fish there. And one more cast over there. The reason they like current and stuff too, I mean they want to get out of it, is because they want to be out of the current to spawn. You know, they don't want the current to wash their eggs away and things like that. They want to be able to stay on the nest. And you can definitely tell it's at winter pool right now. It's down 10, 15 foot from summer pool too. You could definitely tell. You know, tournaments are a whole different beast. They've got set rules and set procedures that they go through to when you go to fish one. Like most of the time we'll get a live well check so they know we don't have any fish in the live well before we start. We'll, if you win, even in the bigger tournaments, they'll give you a polygraph test so they make sure you didn't cheat. And there's a lot of different rules, like no trolling. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's where you have multiple poles on the side of the boat at a time and you're fishing for, you know, whatever's biting there. They do it a lot for muskies and stripers around here, and a lot of crappie fishermen do it too with spider rigs, throwing it on the side and letting it hang there till a fish gets a hold of it. That's not really allowed in bass tournaments. And even now the umbrella rigs, which is 5 wires with 5 different hooks on there with 5 different baits, those are frowned upon, and they're not allowed in a lot of tournaments now. But there's a lot of different procedures that you go through. You know, you have to launch the boat, like I said, live well check. You have to check back in at a certain time or you get late penalties. They give you a chip at the beginning of the day, you got to turn that in. All your fish got to be over the size limit, like here at Green River it's 12 inches. Things like that. In tournaments, we're not allowed to use live bait or anything like that. It's all artificial, and it's got to be, you know, you got to be the one that's making the movement. And there's a lot of different styles and baits out there now. You know, you got the crankbait, you've got all kinds, bazillions of crankbaits, jerk baits, spinner baits. You've got all kinds of soft plastics and jigs, and they've all got different styles. Like right now I'm using crankbaits and jigs just because it imitates the crawfish and the shad a lot better. Now in the summertime we use a lot more worms and things like that, just because the fish are a little bit more aggressive and more apt at going out and getting a worm. When you get a bite, with these jigs you gotta set the hook. A lot of people don't know what setting the hook is. A lot of people just reel it in when the fish is on there. But when you feel that tap, what I always do is when I work my bait, I'm working with just a little bit of slack, you know, just kind of a little bit of bow in the line. That way I don't move that jig very far and move it past the fish. But when I get a bite, I'll reel the slack out and then come up and drive it home. And then just continuously reel when you're doing that to keep the slack out. Because if you have slack in your line and you set the hook, 100% of the time he's getting off. It's not a good hook set. You will not catch that fish. He will throw it bigger than heck, or you just won't even get him to the top of the water. So it's really important to get that slack out of the line when you're setting the hook. And with the jigs and stuff, when you use heavier line, you can really drive that hook home because it's real thick gauge wire. But with the lighter ones, you don't want to set as much of a hook because it's real light line, light wire, and he'll straighten the hook out. But it's real important to take the slack out. Here we go. Little bitty guy. Maybe move further back up on in the creek here. Their mouths are made out of cartilage, so it doesn't really hurt them. They grow back really quick too, so. Think a little guy, he got a little scar on him, like a little muskie tried to eat him or something when he was littler. Come on back, bud. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. There he is. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Don't come off. Don't come off. Oh, that's a pig. Don't come off there. Oh, man. Come here. Come here. Don't like grabbing that line. Yeah. Thought he was bigger than that. I thought he was like a 4-pounder when he swooped. He's more like 2. Whew. Now that's a female. Now I can tell you it's a female because best way I could tell you is it's got 2 belly buttons. It was up there and it was pre-spawn. Males, they tend to be a whole lot smaller. Females get, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds. The biggest male about you're ever going to catch is 3 pounds. So, what a pretty fish. Love it. Love it. I swear I thought it was a 3-pounder when it was on the line. 3 or 4-pounder. Just ended up being a 2. Go back, buddy. Get back in there. That was another one. Oh, that's a good one. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Don't you get off. Don't you get off. Yes! We had a pretty good day on Green River Lake. It was kind of tough. They're pulling the current. It was kind of hard. We just had a big snowstorm come through. But we caught some fish and we had a good time doing it. So this is one of the fish that I caught today. So join us next time on Central Kentucky Outdoors and we'll break down another lake for you.